All right, folks, gather around. Today we're talking about GMRS, or General Mobile Radio Service. The most practical, useful, and frustratingly simple radio service that the FCC still found a way to charge you for. GMRS is not ham radio. It's not CB. It's not a toy walkie-talkie that you buy at Walmart that promises 35 miles of range, but cuts out when you step behind a bush. Nope. No, you can leave it. GMRS is what you use when you actually want your radio to work. So sit back, grab a beverage, and let's talk about why you should absolutely get a GMRS radio. Unless, of course, you enjoy screaming into the void. This is FRS, Family Radio Service. This is FRS, Family Radio Service. It's what you give your kids so they can pretend they're talking to each other while you secretly laugh at their limited range complaints. And this is GMRS. It's FRS's older, stronger, way more useful sibling. You get higher power, better range, and repeaters. That means instead of hoping that your 0.5 watt FRS radio reaches the end of your driveway, you can actually talk across entire counties. Revolutionary, I know. So you'd think that since GMRS is just slightly a beefed up version of FRS, that you could just buy a radio and start talking, right? Wrong! Because the FCC needs their cut. So you get to go online, fight with their user-friendly website, and pay them $35, and you're legally allowed to talk on GMRS for 10 years. The best part, that $35 covers your entire family. Your spouse, covered. Your kids, covered. Your grandma who doesn't even know what GMRS is, covered. But not your weird neighbor Steve. Sorry, Steve, you're on your own. With GMRS, you're not limited to a weak little radio. With GMRS, you're not limited to a weak little radio with a range that's measured in feet. You can run handhelds up to 5 watts, or if you're really wanting to overcompensate, a mobile unit pushing 50 watts. That means you can actually talk to people without having to climb a tree and pray to the radio gods for good signal. And if you have access to a GMRS repeater, oh buddy. Now you're talking dozens of miles, maybe hundreds, if you're in a good spot. Imagine yelling into a tin can and having a radio god rebroadcast your voice to an entire city. That's what GMRS repeaters do. Unlike ham radio repeaters, you don't have to memorize some secret handshake to use them. Just program the frequency, set your tone, and start talking. Simple. Now, before you start treating GMRS like your personal pirate radio station, let's go over some rules because the FCC loves rules. Number 1, stay on GMRS channels. No, you can't use ham frequencies. And yes, some ham guys will throw an absolute tantrum if you even think about it. 2, no encrypted communications. This isn't a James Bond movie. If you need to hide your conversations that badly, maybe just don't say dumb things on the radio. 3. No business use. Step 3. No business use because the FCC says so. Do they have a good reason? No, but here we are. 4. Don't be an idiot. If you sound like a moron, people will tell you. If you start treating GMRS like your personal podcast, don't be surprised when someone accidentally steps on your transmission. Look, if you want easy, effective, long-range communication without needing a PhD in antenna theory, GMRS is where it's at. It's great for preppers, off-roaders, hikers, families, or just anyone who realizes that cell towers are about as reliable as a $2 umbrella in a hurricane. And if some ham radio guys tells you that GMRS is just for kids, remind him that at least you don't need an emergency beacon just to find your way out of a parking lot. What's that? Oh, it's the sound of me not having to memorize 100 useless questions of a ham radio exam just to talk to my buddy down the street. Enjoy your antenna math, Bob. Until next time, keep your antennas high and your expectations low. I'm 474, and this has been your sarcastic guide to GMRS.